Have you ever pondered upon the question, what was the spark that ignited the American Revolution? Today, we take a deep dive into the history of the American Revolution, a pivotal event that shaped the world as we know it today. In the mid-18th century, 13 colonies in North America started to feel a growing discontent under British rule. This period, known as the Enlightenment, saw many people questioning traditional authority and asserting their rights. It was during this time, in the 1760s, that the seed of revolution started to sprout in the American soil. The British government, in a bid to recover from the financial strain of the French and Indian War, started to impose taxes on the American colonies. One of the most infamous of these was the Stamp Act of 1765, which required colonists to pay a tax on every piece of printed paper they used. This act ignited a flame of resentment among the colonists who felt they were being unjustly taxed without representation in the British Parliament. In response to the Stamp Act, the colonies united and formed the Stamp Act Congress in October of 1765. This was the first significant joint colonial response to British measures and marked the beginning of a unified colonial resistance against British rule. The tension between the colonies and Britain escalated with the Boston Massacre in 1770, where British soldiers killed 5 colonists during a confrontation. This event, widely publicized, became a rallying point for the colonists, fueling their desire for independence. The pivotal moment came on December 16, 1773, with the Boston Tea Party. Angered by the Tea Act, which allowed the British East India Company to sell tea directly to the colonies, bypassing colonial merchants, a group of colonists dumped 342 chests of British tea into the Boston harbor. This act of defiance marked the tipping point. The British government responded with punitive measures, known as the Intolerable Acts, which further stoked the flames of revolution. The colonies, now united in their resistance, convened the First Continental Congress in September of 1774, setting the stage for the American Revolution. In April of 1775, the first shots of the American Revolution were fired at Lexington and Concord. The war raged on for 8 years, culminating in the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783, which recognized the sovereignty of the United States. In summary, the American Revolution was not a sudden event, but rather a culmination of a series of incidents over a decade. The Stamp Act sowed the seeds of discontent, the Boston Massacre fueled the flames, and the Boston Tea Party was the tipping point that led to the war. The First Continental Congress marked the unification of the colonies, and the shots fired at Lexington and Concord marked the beginning of a war that would end with American independence. Exploring this chain of events, we gain a deeper understanding of the American Revolution, not just as a historical event, but as a human struggle for freedom and self-determination. History is always more than just dates and events. It's a tapestry of human experiences, choices, and consequences. And in the narrative of the American Revolution, we see the power of unity, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of mankind.